It's so great to see people here when I step into the room. It's funny because in the background, I am waiting and energizing myself, but this is Sweet 16. We're celebrating Sweet 16. Sweet 16 is a big thing happening right now in college basketball, but we're going to do Sweet 16 differently. We are going to look at Sweet 16 from the lens of a small and mighty, small and growing YouTube channel creator. So it's good to see Catherine. Catherine sent me an email. I'll look for that. I'll look for that. One thing that's been really fun with Catherine is we've been chatting in the background away from YouTube, and that's kind of fun. I'm really enjoying that, Catherine. So welcome, Ninj. Good to see you this morning. Hey, Kay and Rose, so happy to see you. So we're going to start with a little bit of trivia because I love trivia. And I realize that some of you may have no answers to these questions because you're like, huh, what is she talking about? This is foreign. But March Madness got to start in basketball because this is the time of year when all the tournaments happen, the big tournaments. And so it actually started, I had to do research because that's just who I am. And I found out that March Madness started, or that name came out like in the late 30s from a Midwestern American basketball coach. And I wrote his name down somewhere, but I don't remember where I put it. That'll be my assignment for today. So good. Not me? Huh? Oh, okay, whatever you said. I missed something. Anyway, but there was a certain, oh, you didn't send me an email, you sent Ninja an email. Okay. Well, I was excited to get an email, but that's okay, because we have other ways to communicate, Catherine. So, the phrase March Madness became a part of the lexicon of people who like basketball in the late 80s because of a certain sports broadcaster. Does anyone know who that broadcaster was? I actually remember the name of the broadcaster, and I can remember watching March Madness quite a bit, for a while. And just last night, hi Shirzad, one of my Facebook friends actually put something on her Facebook feed saying she was rooting for Purdue. And I'm like, okay, a picture of basketball, go Purdue. I'm like, March Madness is here. So when I think of March Madness, not Howard Cosell, but that's a great guess. Great guess. But I would say similar to Cosell with his presentation style, kind of theatrical and big. Big. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you so much for asking. I keep thinking he was with NBC. He might have ended with NBC. Hello, good to see you, everybody. So I'll give you that answer in a second. So here we go. How many teams start out with the NCAA tournament every year at this March Madness? How many teams? Does anyone know? And a few other terms, such as what is a Cinderella team? Does anyone know what a Cinderella team is? Because too many. Brent Musburger. Who's Brent Musburger? And see, now when you play trivia at a bar or you play Trivial Pursuit or something, and they say, who was Brent Musburger? Boy, do I know my sports broadcasters. As some of you know, I was raised in a home with 4 brothers and a father who loves sports. We're talking about Sweet 16. Sweet 16. Now, it's interesting because Sweet 16 is about men's sports, well, actually women's sports now too, because women's basketball also has a Sweet 16. These are the regional semifinals, but Sweet 16, how it works is teams are ranked. This is an error page when I was trying to figure out what to talk about for y'all, and they're matched up, teams of 4, and then teams win, so they move up, and then they move up. It looks like that. Sucky. Okay, Karen Rose says a Cinderella team is a sucky team that does better than anyone expected, otherwise known as an underdog team. So I talked about one of my favorite basketball coaches, which I'm sure none of you care about, but he was the coach of Providence College back in the day, like around 1990, late 80s, probably when this was really getting heated up. So he became my favorite. And look at this, we have Tracy's in the house. Tracy's always really cool to find. So here we go. We're going to move on from the sports metaphors because they aren't going over at all. But here we're doing, I think it's backwards, Sweet 16 of the Small and Mighty YouTube Creator. Now, all of you live or on replay can follow along with this. I try to make this friendly for replay viewers as well as live people here live. Also, please carry on your conversation and your chatting because that helps to build the community too, beyond me just chattering here. Sure, son, I'm doing great. I'm having a lot of fun. Thank you for asking. But I have to say, I'm not on a porch. I recognize that. And I'm not drinking coffee. I'm not on a porch because things are going great, because I am in South Jersey and it's raining. So what you are seeing is what will one day be my YouTube studio space here. It's just now all pink walls, pink and white. Sonnet pink and storyteller white. So I'm on brand with my writing. So anyway, and I need to decorate. I hope you'll all help me with that. All right, so here we go. Round one is called The Small YouTuber Inner Game. The Small YouTuber Inner Game. And so here are the matchups. And I love pink too. So what I need you to do is to think about how these things fit with you and which one would win in the match of your life. I did, Shirzad. I read that you said, how are things going? How are things going with you? They're doing great. I probably spoke too quickly. So hello, Wild Tiger. And sometimes when I'm giving, just for all y'all to know, sometimes when I'm giving out comment or content like this that I'm doing today, I will go back to the comments, but I won't go back to them exactly as I say the stuff because I figure some of us really want to play along. So here with YouTube Small and Mighty creators, the first matchup is consistency versus perfection. Now, if you don't want to say in the comments where you are with that, take a deep breath and think, am I more consistent or am I more worried about having this video absolutely perfect before I hit schedule or publish? Consistency or perfection? Which one is that for you? For me, I think I wobble between both. So I kind of do if I'm playing a basketball, shuffle, what's this called? I was calling it shuffling. It's not shuffling, dribbling. Practice dribbling is really good for the brain. So if you want to practice dribbling. The other most embarrassing thing I found out when I was working in high school that I no longer could shoot as well as I used to. It's like, I think, Julie, you haven't thrown a basketball in 40 years. You should be able to keep just, I used to be great at the game called horse. So in case you were wondering, okay, this is good. Canro is more consistent. Canro, who puts out videos at 5 p.m. every Wednesday, by the way, check it out. But consistency can be consistency at time, consistency at publishing schedule, consistency in quality, all that stuff. Catherine, try to be more consistent. I'll never be perfect. Yeah. Progress is perfection. Consistency can be perfection. Ninja is very consistent. Yeah, I would agree with that one. So the rest of you out there, think about that. You might take notes, and I might even make up a PDF of this stuff because it's really pretty good. Okay, how about the next one, which is showing up versus waiting to feel ready? Showing up or waiting to feel ready. I would say also Tracy, who's at Koba's Cattails, she is so consistent with her daily postings. You inspire the heck out of me with that, Tracy. And so because I'm a writer, I'm thinking, why am I not showing my writing more? That's something that I really want to work on. Okay, and there he is. Ninja's saying, I'm live every Friday at 10:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. So, Central, today, in a couple hours, Ninja will go live. Watch him for his consistency and his presentation. So if he was to say he was going live on a porch with coffee, he would go live on a porch with coffee. Me, I'm live. I have neither porch nor coffee. But I'm trusting you all to have the imagination. I even have a really fun mug that I wanted to use today, a Disney mug that goes perfectly with the Cinderella theme and the magic theme, because that's my whole Friday. And you'll see that if you watch my video that's going to publish at noon. With my favorite thumbnail I've ever made is today. And I just made it within the last hour. Okay. Okay, consistency, showing up, waiting to feel ready. That's the next one. Did I say it? Showing up and ready, waiting to feel ready. That's the second one. So showing up imperfect. That's me today. Extremely. I'm showing up. I'm not doing anything right. So I do try to show up. Okay, the next one is your voice or what works. So perfection, again, these are all kind of related. Speaking with your voice, thinking, I must sound eloquent, I must be this or that, or doing whatever works in that moment. Have any of you ever showed up when your voice was terrible? Like I've showed up, I was listening to a video the other day, one of the Christmas videos. My voice was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. But I showed up even though I had a cold. So how about that? Let's see. I'm not sure, Todd, if you're still here, but I'm looking at your note asking if I'm okay. And I'm like, yes, I'm okay. And I'm thinking that you may be looking for more of a deep answer. That's really interesting. And I am okay right now. And I know that there's some things that aren't okay around where I am. So I appreciate you asking that. You go. Okay, again, will y'all please tell Kevin, because I believe that's Kevin behind the keyboard. He says he always sounds terrible. Will y'all please tell him he does not always sound terrible? Kevin is so helpful. And that helpfulness and the sharing comes through in your vocals. That's true. Okay, Koba says, which is Tracy, I am doing whatever works in the moment now. I was putting too much pressure on myself to try to sound perfect, and I like this better. Story. From the time that I was away from YouTube, I started listening to experts on how you were supposed to sound and be on YouTube, and how you were supposed to, do the hook, and you're supposed to say it like this, and you're supposed to catch people the first 5 seconds, and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, I tried to do that, and every video I made, I looked and sounded ridiculous. Mostly I didn't look and sound like me, and I want to sound like me. So Ninja says, I must sound like a professor. I believe you do. I believe you do. Oh, you're relaxing your eyes. Yeah. And Catherine, don't change a thing. I love how you're all supporting each other. Okay, this one. When you watch videos, because we're all watching videos as small YouTube creators and we're trying to learn. Are we looking at other videos with curiosity or comparison? I would say judgmental comparison. So are you looking at other people's videos to see how you stack up because you're not good enough? Or do you look at other people's videos so you can be curious of how you might improve, how you might serve your audience better? I'm always doing my best to think about what are the people watching my videos wanting to see. And I would say doing this is something that I think is helpful, actually making up an activity so that we are hanging out and we are also doing an activity together. For me, I really like this. I like doing activities. And I also like helping creators who, like me, are small and mighty. Small and growing. Who are you to judge? Well, sometimes. Oh, that's so nice, Tracy's complimenting Catherine's channel. One of the things is that curiosity, like how did they do that? How did they do that edit? Or what is the motivation behind that? That's my director hat going on. Or how might I apply what they are doing to what I would like to do with my channel? And when I see that certain people take off, for example, Catherine had a huge a video with so many views, like over 1,000, probably even more by now. And I'm like, wow, how did she do that? And she did great packaging. She had a great thumbnail, a great title, and the content was great too. But the thumbnail and the title, which they teach us, is so important. And I made a video 2 days ago. It is tanked. It is tanked, and I believe it's a packaging problem. The people who are watching are enjoying, or at least they're commenting. And I went through one of those video coach things. They're like, Julie, your engagement is fantastic. The people who are watching your videos are enjoying them. They're saying good things in their comments. You're doing well. And I'm like, but I want a bigger audience. So 4.9, but who's counting? Wow, that is fantastic. If I had 4.9 views on one of my videos, I would be dancing around. I think my highest YouTube audience on a long form video is like 2,000. And it was a video that I made, a prompt, a poetry and prompt thing from years ago. And it was, thank you, Kay. And it was by Rita Dove, who's an amazing poet laureate. And there's like 1,700. And I'm guessing that some professor somewhere sent that. Because sometimes, like on my old blog, a professor used my blog in an assignment. So sometimes things like that happen. My thought is that Rita Dove, or someone who likes Rita Dove, because she's a professor, did that. Anyway, so curiosity or comparison, that's round one. And if you're actually going through, you can rank yourself. We're not going to, this is Sweet 16 Day. So we're going to go through round two now, everyone. Okay, no wonder I appreciate you so much. Kay says, I gave up trying to please others and just do what I like to do. And that comes through. And that's kind of what I do also, because I found that I'm more myself when I'm doing what I love to do. And, you know, my channel, The Niche, Aging Joyfully, is about being joyful as you're getting older. And so that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people. And for me, it means doing many things that I love. And it's not all going to fit into one little one little cubbyhole. And when I started last year to work on my channel again, that was definitely, okay, so I'm a newbie nomad, which I still am. And I love to write. I don't share my writing enough. I need to get back into that. I like being outdoors. I like learning things. I like traveling, usually through newbie nomading, which is nice and inexpensive, mostly free. So anyway, thank you, Kevin, for bringing that up. All right, so creative process. And I have, some of my answers are goofy on this one. So do you film regularly or do you avoid the camera? So my thing with this is I have a camera. I've confessed it on here. I have a new camera. So I have my iPhone, which I use all the time, but I have a new camera. I don't know how to use it. And I wanted to use it. I bought it months. In fact, I've had it and it's traveled with me. And it's still in the box because I'm intimidated by it. So I've been avoiding the camera and I've been filming. As usual, I don't fit into a cubby. How about this one? Simple edits versus over editing for hours and hours and hours and days and days and days. And yes, Catherine, you are getting better. I love seeing you as much as I'm seeing you now. So simple edits, that's what I try to do. Sometimes I get stuck, or this was the past, I used to over edit, or I would try to over edit, but I wasn't good at it. So I would say, again, yes, simple edits, but I would say, so Kay and Ro and I recently did a collaboration. I still haven't edited my short because I get intimidated by Kay and Ro. Because Kay and Ro, I think I might have mentioned this. I don't know if you heard me say this, Kevin, or if you weren't around. But I think about Kay and Ro as being like a starting quarterback and a running back on like a Super Bowl football team. Sorry, another sports analogy. And I feel like I'm the third string water girl. And I am called in to bring the water out to the star players rarely. And when I do, it's like a huge thing for me, but it's annoying for the players, except the class act players, like the Travis Kelce's of my pretend football team and the Ryan Goslings of my pretend football team. Kay and Ro, Kevin and Ro. They are these stars. I am this third string coming once in a while with the water. And so I'm really intimidated. And so when that collaboration came out, I said to Emma, will you please watch this video before I do? Because I'm afraid that I look like an idiot in it. And I'm like, these are the nicest people in the world. They're the greatest people in the world. They are patient and loving, kind teachers. And Emma's initial feedback was, it's fine. You look fine. The lighting is amazing. The editing is really good. She came back with all the technical stuff that made me feel comfortable. So there's background of the collab, but Kevin says I'm the star. No. You are the stars, and I'm not gonna cry. You are the stars, and being around y'all elevates me. So thank you so much for that. But that's literally the analogy they came up with. Is Evie in the house? Hi, Evie. Good to see you. Ninj, that's pshaw, all of you. But thank you for the compliments. Evie's in the house. YouTube's not a job for Ninja, not a job for me either. Well, it's interesting. It's not a job because I clearly don't get paid. That's what you look for as a job. For me, it's a really fun thing that I get to do and that I enjoy doing. And I would say one thing YouTube is for me is that it keeps those things about me alive, like performance. Although I'm not performative, there's a difference. Showing up on camera, showing up in front of an audience really helps me to continue. Anyway, let's go to the next one. Okay, so simple edits are over editing forever. I think depending upon where we are in our journey, we'll probably move from things here. And I would say sometimes we might over edit just for fun. Again, my thumbnail in today's video, which I love, took me very little time, but and I should have done more editing on this video, so I'm making a shorts to fill in the blanks of part of that video. Okay, sure. If you want to ask a question, Catherine, put a Q and then I'll come back and get that because I'm just going to finish up with this. Done. I'll finish with this category, so you can ask it now and then I'll get it. So the next matchup is done. Like, I'm done with my video here. That was me today. I got to get this thing out. Boom. Versus, oh, gee, I need to fix that. That was really messed up. I said I was going to do this and it came out lousy. So how I'm going to make that tweak is to make a short to fix it up. I won't be on location. I won't be standing on that corner. Anyway, in that certain place. Batching. So do you, and this is the fourth category of creative process, is do you batch videos or do you create in the morning, in the moment? Do you batch videos or do you create in the moment? And it doesn't have to be either or either, because I'm definitely not. I'm going to take a break from my list, so if people want to ask questions, please be my guest. Okay, there we go. People say it's not good to upload on weekends, that you won't get views. Thoughts? That's for anyone. Thank you, Catherine. I had the same question because I've heard the same thing, and I'm doing some testing on that. And I will just say that it's kind of, for me, I see it as sort of a variable. It's one of many variables. So, I mean, if you have an amazing packaging and really great content, hopefully it'll get seen. And there's also, I've heard, ways to push things out later on, or and I think this is true on YouTube also, at least I know it's true with shorts. On YouTube, or on Facebook yesterday, I commented on a year-old photo, and all of a sudden that photo it's just getting so much traction. It had no traction, was sitting on my Facebook for a year. Facebook, the one thing Facebook does well is they do your memories. You know, they share your memories, what you were doing a year ago. So what I was doing a year ago, and I'm like, oh my goodness. And so I commented on, this is where something about conviviality, because you might remember conviviality is the word of the day. Word of the year. And Emma's boyfriend, who's in the picture, is the one who made that moment convivial. So, okay, so Ninja says he has more times to watch on the weekend. Evie says mine. Oh, Evie says she doesn't think the weekend makes a difference to yours. Okay. Ninja does shorts daily, and he watches YouTube 7 days a week. I also make shorts. I try to do it daily. I'm not so good at that these days. I try. I definitely need to work on my consistency. Yeah, and Kay says, I also thought people are busy doing other things on the weekends. Like, I'm publishing that fabulous video today at noon, and I feel like I'm taking a risk because it's Friday at noon Eastern, which is 9 Pacific. And then I think everybody's going to be out because they're going to take off on Friday night and do fun stuff. Like me, I'm going to the movies tonight. I'm thinking everybody's out. you know, they're going out with their friends, they're going out and doing, they don't want to be watching my silliness on YouTube. So we'll see. And I've also found, and this is just for me, and it could be just rumor, that Sunday's better than Saturday. But I think Rhonda's not here, but Rhonda once said that she thinks her videos do great on the weekends. So I think it's trial and seeing what works for your channel, Catherine, if that helps. And that's what I'm trying to do now, because I really need to get through my road trip content because it's getting on my nerves. It's like, oh yay, we're finally out of Arizona today. And then the next video we'll get through New Mexico, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, all in one day. So thank you, Catherine. You're so sweet. Okay, so. Oh, you're going to see Project Hail Mary with my new best friend Ryan Gosling in it. That's what I'm going to see. Because not only did I go to Ryan Gosling's premiere, when he spoke to me personally, actually the whole group, but you know, I have video proof that I was there when he said his kind words, just like a theater kid, which he probably was way back in Canada. Where was I going with this? I don't know. Ryan Gosling's in it, but I left. I left the premiere. I was there for an hour. I didn't see the whole movie. So I'm going back so I can watch the whole movie. I felt like that was such an impolite thing for me to do. But my friends convinced me that was totally fine. So, okay. And the reviews have been fantastic. I think it has a 95% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which means 95% of the people loved it. Thank you so much, Tracy. Thank you for being here. You spent plenty of time. We still have a few more categories, and I'm just going to keep plowing through this. But thank you, Tracy. This was Tracy's idea, by the way, Koba's Cattails. This video is her idea. We will hopefully be back on the porch on Friday. And I do have an alternative porch, but in the rain it won't work. So hopefully I'll rig it up. Maybe I'll definitely go live on the porch here. It's like a perfect Julie-esque porch, different than any other normal porch because Julie's not normal. Okay, so round 3, we're going to do growth and visibility. I'll go through these more quickly because I realize we're almost at 30 minutes. So, all right, growth and visibility. I'll start at the bottom this time. Learning versus overlearning. So do you learn before you record, or do you overlearn so that you have an excuse not to record, that you just don't quite know enough? This is the perfectionists among us. Okay, Evie has a very good point. She says, I think the age group matters on who watches. Evie's is mostly over 60, so they watch on weekends. That's a really great point. That's a really great point. And yeah, if your audience is watercoloring, you're going to be watercoloring in your house, probably with videos going. So that's a really good point. Okay, so so today would be an example where I just learned and ran, because an hour before I went live, I was still putting together this idea. I had the basic idea in my head. But for example, here's my opening that I was supposed to give. And I was supposed to talk about March Madness, not the madness like the Mad Hatter craziness, but the madness like excitement, like slight chaos, like be ready for the thrills, the ups and downs, the upsets and the wins, and the March magic, which is actually such a girly thing because they're sweet 16s and Cinderella stories. So it's really all about girly stuff. So go WNBA. All right, welcome. I see there's a bunch of new people coming in. If you would take a second to like this video, I would so appreciate it. So, okay, so this is one, we talked about this a little bit. So there's niche clarity, some people who are super on niche all the time, versus creative freedom. Niche clarity, creative freedom. I kind of go, since I've settled on joyful aging joyfully. I'm a little bit better with a niche, and yet I still maintain creative freedom. So again, this could be an and or an either or. And I think there's room for all of us to sometimes step out of our niche a little bit to show our personal sides, because I think our audiences really like that. Audiences like behind the scenes stuff. Okay, cool, that's nice. Evie's getting things done in the kitchen, just like a person watching watercolor videos or cooking. A lot of that is done. Um, and niche clarity is a growing, ongoing thing, Catherine. I'm glad that you brought that up. And yes, Kay and Rose stay within their niche, which I love. That's how I found them in the first place. So it works. It definitely works. So, but what I love that Kay and Rose do is when they like on their stories, they've shared some stuff like about their rock band times, and that's really fun to know that they had a rock band. Like for me with Down Syndrome Awareness Day, I shared about that this week, and people were really interested in the stories of that. And I shared old vintage photos of myself and my siblings, and even a rare sighting of myself while pregnant. That's not something that I've ever shown before like that. But there I was. You might not even be able to tell, but yeah, I was pregnant in one of those photos. Okay. This is one that's big here, connection versus chasing numbers. So we can chase after getting lots and lots of views and lots of subs and all that. And we can focus on connecting with people. Some people are very much either or, they just want the numbers, they don't care about the connection. And I see a lot of people who, don't interact with their audiences at all. And for me, you can connect with your audiences like here on the live, we're connecting. Yeah, Ninja definitely stays within the niche. Evie says niche clarity is good, but throwing personal in keeps us all engaged. I agree. I mean, you talk about your wrist, yes, the weather, right. Maybe I wonder too, that's interesting. Again, I wonder if that's more common, if that's more common to just different personality types. Maybe the more typically creative, or what's looked at as creative thinkers versus logical thinkers, left brain, right brain, that kind of thing. Both, yes. Yeah, I know, I do both too. I mean, the competitive, which I claim I'm not, is not so much competitive as it is excellence. Yes, numbers do come on their own. Thank you, Kay. I agree with that one too. And Ninj says he loves the connection. I agree. I can tell that about you, Ninj. And you're chasing watch hours so that you can get monetized and donate the proceeds to charity, which is the Robin Hood of YouTube aspect of your brand. That's great. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. So publishing versus versus holding back. I have to tell on myself. Publishing versus holding back. So while I was sleeping last night, I was sleeping, minding my own business, sleeping on my new fabulous bed that was like sleeping in heaven. Somehow a video that I put up simply to work on music edits on, because I'm trying to learn how to put music on my videos, because my video today really wanted to have a song in it. Somehow this thing got published. It was just for practice. And I woke up and I wasn't going to even go on YouTube, but I went on YouTube and I see this video and I see people I know commenting on this. I'm like, oh my God. So that was an example when I should have been better at holding back. But the thing just got published. I still don't know how. Anyway. Oh, Evie, that's really nice. And that's such a good tip. Evie says, think of talking to someone you know on the phone. Why are you calling? And what else is new? Yes, there's a reason why you're calling. Exactly. But then you get to chit-chatting. Recently, I helped a writer I was co-working with. He was working on his thesis and he was very blocked and he was very upset. And it was the first time we'd ever met. He was from an Asian country, I don't remember which one. And he said, you're a writer, can you please help me get through this block? And I just looked at him and he was so earnest. And I said, well, when I'm really blocked, the best thing I do is I take that subject that I'm working on and I write about it as if I'm writing a letter to a friend. Similar strategy. So you can do that writing or video. So if you have a difficult topic, talk it out as if you're talking to a friend. You can even make a video that you'll never publish, or unless you accidentally publish it. And as a joke, I will put that video as a video as how I failed, because I have a failure video I still need to get done. Hey, look, it's Mike's Adventure Sparks, and everybody's always so happy to see you. I'm happy to see you, Mike. This is the perfect time. It's good to get new people when we are doing this last row of questions, these last matchups in our Sweet 16 for the small YouTuber, the small and mighty YouTuber. Some of you are larger and mightier, and some of us are still working on it. It's 717, 18, 19-ish subscribers. It's gonna kick off the weekend. I'll be interested to see where I am on April 1st. It's actually really good because, anyway, let's go back to the questions. So this is at the heart of it. Do you make your videos for joy or obligation? Joy or obligation? Anyone have any thoughts? Are you out there making your videos because you're joyful about it? Or are you making it because you have these subscribers who keep bugging you to make more videos? I wish. Julie, when are you going to get the next video? Darn it. Put it out there. But again, going back to consistency as we had earlier, look at that joy. Yes, I would agree for watching your videos. Make them for joy. Yay. I think that it is all fun. I think that really shows in your videos. And some of my favorite videos are actually outdoors people. I think I picked up a lot of people from Okies Eden. And so these guys are out there camping and they're out there at their campfires, hiking, doing all this outdoor stuff. And it's so much fun. I love seeing joy and happiness tune in. That's great. Okay, so good. We're all in with the joy. How about, and this is something that I learned, community versus isolation. Joy in the communication afterward. Yes, yes. Yes, there is pressure to get them posted. You know, Wednesday at 5:01, if that video isn't up, I might be waiting for it. Yes, I have seen ice fishing for the first time in my life, both on video and in person. So now community versus isolation, this is something that kept me here when I came back a year ago, because I did have had my channel for such a long time, but I never had a community. So it was like I was speaking into this realm of silence. And once I got involved with community, starting I think with the Friday Night Lives with Karen, etc. Evie is one on there. All of a sudden, I was connecting to people, and that helps so very much. That helps so much because I was no longer a creator out here alone. I was a creator with friends. And yeah, so, and that's just gotten better and better this year, and I hope to continue. I love meeting new friends, and I love meeting new creators, and I don't feel isolated. So, and I know everyone who's here is more into communication than isolation, as evidenced by your participation in a live. That goes for you, right, replay viewers, if you're still here, because your participation on the replay is something that I truly enjoy when I come back and check out the comments. By the way, if you're watching on live and you think of something later, please come back to the replay and share your new discovery. That would be awesome. Finally, are you showing up? Oh, I forgot this one. Experimentation or playing it safe. So do you experiment with your videos? Do you regularly try new things? Or do you always do the same thing over and over pretty much? And I would say, I'm thinking of Evie here. Evie does experimentation all the time. She does watercolor, but she experiments all the time. So yes, you're right. Our friends do give good feedback in a gentle, sweet way. Yeah. Nobody clobbers you over the head and says, oh, that's terrible. And, you know, we do come back with ideas and suggestions. Experimentation versus playing it safe. I think I'm an experimenter, although my experiments are way behind because of my road tripping. I tell you, I learned so much from road tripping, and I learned a lot about my weaknesses. And I've learned a lot about how when my mental health goes down, so does my video making. And I think because that's all my own in my head, but that's something I'm working on that I learned from this road trip. Yes, Mike tries new things. Oh, Catherine says she plays it safe, except on your last one. Do you mean your last one, you and your husband, Catherine? Yeah, Yeah, that's good. Kevin says I've made some changes over time, mostly stay consistent when I find something I like. And I would say one thing that I really enjoy about Kevin's videos are it seems like spontaneous joy that shows up, like when they got to spring on their spring video, little dance moves. I like that. um, that was fun. And bloopers. Sometimes they do bloopers, which I enjoy seeing those. The other thing I think that for Kevin, K and Row Hiking Happens there, I literally love the endings. I stay throughout his whole video because I love the endings. And that's something we talked about, the topic about when we watch videos, do we compare with others or are we curious about it? So, how can I take this particular feature, inspiration, and do that on my own videos? So I have done some of that with making the endings of my videos more interesting. I've also watched more travel videos for road trip videos, and a lot of road trip videos are literally showing you the road. And I'm like, oh, people just want to see a road. What? That would have been so much easier. So I'll be incorporating more of that. Ninj says, I play it safe. I do not provide financial advice, which is smart. Kane Rose says, that was something you added after times. Yes, I was going to say. And the other thing, and this is something I want to do with more YouTubers. So YouTubers know where I'm going in the future. I think I mentioned I'll be heading to Maryland and I'll be going to Pittsburgh. And I'm in South Jersey. So if you're in Delaware, if you're in South Jersey, if you're in Philly, if you're at the shore, I love watching other YouTubers at work. Kevin is a fantastic creator. So, he's Sarge on the Appalachian Trail. So he comes he actually is a natural director. And he has a vision and he's doing his thing and he's setting up the shots and he's clearly planned out the script. It was so fun watching him. And, I'm a director. I can do this stuff, but it's so fun watching other YouTubers and how they do it. Okay. Evie says, if I keep variety for myself and no one really wonders why things are different in a certain video, some I get done quick and others take too long. I would agree. For me as well. That's why I started doing Good Morning Love, but I have been making them. I'm stockpiling. And I'm also letting myself screw up and put some not in the stockpile because I want to learn how to edit more quickly when that's what the call is to do. And more Good Morning Loves will be coming. I just need to get over this hurdle of this road trip. The wonderful road trip, which I've been back from for a long time. Okay. This last one, and then we'll say goodbye for now for this week. Wow, this is a really long live for me. Is do you come across on screen as your present self or as your previous identity? That one could be really deep. Your previous self or your present identity. So as your YouTuber self, who are you? Are you more a reflection of who you are as a human today or someone else? And I would say that I am more like my present self now. 2 years ago, I would say I was trying to be a mashup of my past identities. You're present, I'm glad, Catherine. Trying so hard to fit into someone else's little cubby. I am not a cubby. I'm thinking in this office I do have some boxes, but I'm not handy to just reach out and get for y'all. Okay, let's see. If you want to say it's time to say goodbye, I'm not going to sing anything. I'm not going to do any silly, well, I just said I love the silly bloopers, but this is a different format, so I can't do that. You're coming into your present self more. That's great to hear, Nin. So happy to hear that. So happy, so joyful to hear that. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for hanging out here for so long. What is my ending? I don't have a closing phrase to say to you. I don't have a signature close. And I have all of these notes. Like I said, I was learning and finding out about things like Brent Musburger, which nobody cared about, but I was prepared for it. So next week, I don't know what we're doing yet, but I'll come up with a topic before Monday. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm so appreciative. You delight me. And I know the thing that I do say sometimes is the world is a better place because you are in it. And that I firmly and strongly believe. You are all significant humans and you've all made a difference in my life simply by showing up and being yourself. So thanks so much. We'll be back on Monday with gratitude and intention at noon Eastern time. So hope to see some of you there. Take good care. Bye-bye now.